لطيف يا الله يا لطيف يا الله يا لطيف يا الله يا لطيف يا
أهلا وسهلا ومرحبا بكم. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to our beautiful mothers and our fathers and our ancestors, our brothers and our sisters and our grandchildren, children, neighbors, with beautiful pets and all the colleagues, with schoolvrienden, with onze sportsvrienden, and our family of the city of the Cape of Good Hopes. Today is Yawm al-Ahad. We are on to the day one again. Okay. We are also on the 8th day, Yawm Thamaniya, a perpetual cycle that we are on. That's the Masir of the Shams. Okay. Allahu Akbar wa lillahi alhamd. It is a lekker cool dag vandag. Alhamdulillah. Kinders kan 'n bietjie meer bietjie asem kry vandag. Dis is so warm inshallah. People, it is it's that time of our lives that there is a furqan coming. Okay, there's a separation coming in your life, in my life, in our families' lives, in our communities' life, in our earth's life. Okay, it's a natural phenomenon it is a split of how civilizations, yani lights goes off and some lights goes on. Okay, some of humanity will completely, yani, be removed from your presence, okay, from your conscious levels, because you are now going to be, yani, upgraded in your perception. Okay, the way you will see life, the way you will see human beings, the way you will see the seasons of the cosmos, okay, of your growth patterns as an eternal being now, is going to be completely, yani, unknown to you. Okay, not that you are ignorant about it, but it is the age of ignorance that you are coming out, because we are coming out of the dark into the light. Okay, min al-dhulumati ila nur. So your position in conscious, yani, cycles at this moment, you have the Nuh, you have the Ibrahim, you have the Lut, you have the Ad, you have the Thamud, you have the Mu'tafikat, yani, you have the Muhammad age. Okay, at this moment in time, you have to be able to use your internal clock and compass to evaluate, yani, in all truth, what your, yani, current level of conscious is, yani, that is been awarded to you. Okay, the highest form is what we call, yani, that's the group A. That is the golden age, the enlightened age. Okay, that's where you would, like, in your storyline of your understanding of yourself, of conscious. That's how you would understand the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his, yani, Sahaba. That would be your golden age. But that doesn't exist. It's only in your memory files that you activated it. Okay, that's the highest form of truth, of consciousness. Okay, that's where the human conscious is not subjected to his lower self, to his lust self, to his, yani, corrupt self, to his ego self, to his self-conscious self. Okay, yeah, yani, that is a time where all human beings are one, all conscious. That's the golden age. Okay, then beneath the golden age is the less pure age, where people start forfeiting the wisdom. Okay, that's what we call the silver age. They are becoming more, yani, attached to things which, yani, they had not been attracted to in the golden age. Okay, where they forfeited their material, yani, associations and connections. Okay, now that's the second stage, the silver stage. Then is the bronze stage. That is now where you, like, you were probably there between 1985 and 2019. Okay, or less than 2000, 2012. Okay, that's the age where you can, yani, you become, yani, sink into materialism. Okay, you start identifying with your job and your title and your acquisitions and your area where you live and the clothes that you wear and the Botox that you do and all the changes that you've come and all the friends and all the glam and drama. That is the third stage of consciousness. Okay, that's, yani, the bronze stage. Then there is the lowest stage, which is the dark age, which you are currently in as a civilization. Okay, that's where lies, corruption, fraud, you lost your identity, you lost your place at home, you gave up your family, you don't know your own. Yani, that is the, yani, the dark age that you as a civilization is had plummeted in since COVID. Okay, that's the darkest age the human conscious would ever go through. Okay, these four stages is the shahadat, as what it is explained in Surah An-Nur. Yani, then the fifth stage is currently where we, as the soul tribe, after having done a what we call this a due diligent, yani, post mortem of the human condition and how they have depleted all sense of يعني belonging to the original tribes, to the authentic self. Okay, they are no longer affiliated to the spiritual family. They have lost the direction, the qibla. يعني they have no way of retracking and returning. Okay, they have now forfeited um, the sense of interconnectedness. Okay, that is us. That is us, people. Don't get it wrong. Okay, here you will find that they would now have from the first stage, the golden stage, to the dark stage where we are currently in. What has transpired from what was pure and wisdom and organic and authentic, now it is 100% synthetic. The gods that they pray, yani the religions that they find, the formats that they interact with each other, it is all superficial. Okay, they are no longer a organic species. They are now what they call a dark species. They are now a jinn species. Most of you and I are in that category. Okay, here we have forfeited our natural powers, our divine nature, knowledge. Okay, we have lost contact with the divine sense of natural gods. Okay, we had to compose formats since we went into materialism, into the dark age. We created our own gods, our own prophets, and our own way of finding salvation. Okay, now today, with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's qudra, we have to close this chapter of a civilization formally. Okay, um, not easy, not an easy task to do in the heavens, okay, in the conscious world, okay, because listen, we are no longer part of the jinn tribes. We have moved out, okay, we have confessed it, we have done our due diligence, we have gone and followed protocol, we have visited the synagogue of Fir'aun. It is a new house, it is no longer the old house, as you all know. You have to detach, you have to disassociate, you have to verbally, on a public platform, make the announcements. Okay? Um, this is where you and I now have to question ourselves as to when you are in the dark age, only the light will help you. What is the light? That you must be transferred from the fourth stage to back to the first stage, to the golden age. Okay? Now, the golden age cannot open accordingly until there is an amount of conscious souls on the planet that aligns, and they put the lights on for those who has ascended. Okay, these are based on scientific and Islamic inside of the Quran's instructions. You have only come to a time where it was the Bronze Age. The God that you understood at that time, you have no longer preserved that kind of, or grown into what you had to grow into as you grow into your different stages. We are stagnated, and that therefore, because of the chemical invasions on our bodies, this is what plummeted us as a body. Okay, in 2019. So currently, at this moment in your lives, is that we have lost all touch with what is divinity. Okay, we have gone to the lowest form where we had now and he renewed the synagogue of Fir'aun, and it had been it had been scientifically sculptured and molded since 2020. Okay, that's the spin you have on stage 5, stage 4, the different blackouts and the money magic, the inflations, the oil, and all those kind of spells, and Allah calls it istarhabun a'yunan nas. Okay, they were, yani you were given, we were given 6 years in order to come back to our yani matriarch nature, to our divine nature, to learn to know ourselves. Do you qualify to return to the soul, to the soul status, and be reinstated to the soul tribes, to the children, the Dhurriya of Ibrahim and the Dhurriya of Imran? Are you of that caliber? We have to check your family status. At julle familie was van sulke mense nou, wat het dan gebeur met julle dan? And then you come to realize that, you know what, not everybody made it. And that is the Furqan. You are in the season Hudan wa Furqan, شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان. Okay, we are now in this dichotomy in conscious people. We are now breaking away from in a natural form where your day, it's a new day that is coming up with a new sun and a new moon. Okay, representing the day and the night in this new, what they call an aggregate or a new conscious that is being birthed in the heavens, in the conscious world. Okay, which was initiated due to justified bayinat. Okay, that these people have the right to be dismissed. Okay, this has happened in your time. Okay, julle dooie, julle maas in die barzakh, julle paas in die barzakh, almal weet daarvan. Okay, and so this is what we call the Hajj. This is the Hajj as per the Quran, not as per the jinn tribes that had to suck money. Look, we were almost in the dark age, so they have to suck the money out of you so that you must pay them. But where does the money go to? Not to God. They use the money to further enslave you and to weaponize themselves and to take you into a military zone. This is the truth, people. Okay, this is the you are not going to be easily to accept it, but truth is in conscious. Truth is not on the physical world. You have to have be able to realize that you and I don't control the truth. I'm not the author of the truth. وَيَحِقُّ اللَّهُ الْحَقَّ بِكَلِمَاتِهِ وَلَوْ كَرِهَ الْكَافِرُونَ يريدون ليطفئ نور الله بأفواههم ويأبى الله أن يتم نوره ولو كره الكافرون. You see, the truth that you need to come to terms with, that you had left, you had forfeited the essence of the spiritual might of that laws and that injunctions. Once you forfeited it and materialism crept in, that order, that lifestyle became demonic. Okay, you became from pure to najas, okay, impure. And this is how you had then, as a civilization collectively, you had then been prepared to barter with God on salvation. You would do as much sin as you want to, then you would pay him in cash, okay, in your mind, okay, that you can get the return of having a clear conscience, but with money. Jy het betaal met geld vir 'n clear conscience. That's a chemical affair, okay? You put onto the table a offer for a God. Listen, your God, let's gamble here. I'm going to do I'm going to take about 20,000, 25 years where I'm going to live in a jinn form. in a mad form, in a lost form, okay, then I'll do a 1 day ritual where I come and I pay you and you forgive me, because then we are equal. Okay, that is how low in conscious we had sunken. Now the rulers of the jinn tribes, okay, those who are living in darkness, okay, they are yani, tyrants. They are people like yani, in the clothes that you let resembles the clothes that you wear, but they are not you. They are here to yani, to om vir jou reg te maak in die vuur. Okay, in die donkerte, hulle moet vir jou aansit 'n kop en 'n kop en 'n kop, en jy moet maar net betaal en betaal sodat jy nou kan net hê, ja Allah, ek het lekker gewees met Allah. But people, it's just happening in your minds. Then finally, okay, how do you forgive yourself? Okay, Allah cannot forgive you, people. And get this straight, guys. If you don't know Allah, how can you ask Allah for forgiveness? You are just gambling with yourself. Most of you stand on Arafah, wag julle vir hy breeze om oor te kom en te neem. Oh, ek het hy breeze gevind. Hy's maar net wind, broers. Hy's maar net wind. Okay, alles buitekant. Alles about forgiveness is 100% on you. It's not even 1% on Allah, because Allah gave you everything. Allah gave you your itinerary. Allah gave you a book that you must understand. Allah Ta'ala gave you yani, everything by no mistake. Okay? But because we forfeited its value, its quality, its true essence, we interpreted it and we left it into a different understanding. Okay, we control the God, we control the author, we control the game, we control the business. Okay, so then we cut the spy up amongst those who will now be the custodians of, who will reciprocate the money. Okay, follow the money line, people, and you'll see that all religions are fabricated. Okay, all of it. There's no exception. Okay, Islam is not a religion; it is a deen. It is not to be administered by kings and countries. It is to be administered by Allah Ta'ala alone. Okay, so at this moment in time, 100% of all religions are synthetic. Okay, it has no basis to a spiritual ascension into a golden age. Okay, she cannot help you. Okay, so because you do not let us just do this now. The forgiveness, who creates a forgiveness? Who does a Hajj weg? Hajj is not Hajj is Allah's call. It's not human beings' call. Adhanu min Allahi. It is Allah's call. Allah's call in the heavens for those who are in the lowest faculty now of a civilization, the last form of consciousness, where people have lost their sense of identity. They don't know where Jannah is. They don't know where Jahannam is. They don't know whether they are physical, whether they are spiritual. They don't know themselves. Okay, they are jinn tribes. Okay, you have to come to terms with this, people. Okay, that is most of your identities at this moment in time, because it's the final phase of the disposal of a civilization. Okay, so we will lose a lot. We will lose a lot of human beings that we had lived with for 50, 60, 70 years, whether it be people that was biologically related to you. It is the turn of the age where Lut and his family and his believing children, believing members, has to now, with Allah's permission, they have to now seek their way to the departure lounge. Okay, because we are on the lowest. There's not nothing lower than this now any longer. We have to now come to terms with the fact that if we didn't get a ticket, then we must be prepared to stay. Okay, this is not. It's no next context here. It's got nothing to do with weekends. Visio ma, visio pa, VSD. No. This is just got to do with the work you put in from the time that the lights went off until 1446. Bari, the tamhiz. This is where the assortment is now finally coming into order. So your forgiveness, that your Hajj cannot be registered in in the higher conscious of the of the sama, okay, is that you don't know how to forgive yourself. Okay, it's not God that can forgive you. You have to forgive yourself first. Now, why can't you forgive yourself? Because you have been plasticized in believing that you can make a transaction with God. You put down 100,000 and he comes to your party. That is how you have been educated in in a capitalistic world, that God wants money. Okay, you believe that your God is money. So you trade with your God. So now at this moment in time, because you have already offended your God, you cannot get forgiveness. The door of forgiveness inside of you. They can't income because you can only forgive yourself inside. Otherwise, what is the penalty? You will always live with that conscience throughout your life. Okay, that's the energy that God speaks about. Shahraini mutatabi'aini. That is when, you know what, if somebody kills someone, for example, then what is his penalty from the heavens? Scientifically and in a chemical way. Okay, he can never forget. Elke oggend as hy opstaan, then he remembers hoe hy persoon doodgemaak. If he goes to sleep, if he sees a color that person, he will be haunted. That is his adab. That is from the heavens. But obviously, because you and I, you are jinn, we are ins. So your understanding is, hy moet tronk toe gaan. But Allah's understanding is, 'n klein tronk al. Because hy kry all the time that punishment, whatever hy kyk, whatever. Now, same with the person that goes on Hajj, okay? What is say punishment at this moment in this conscious age as we are going on now? Look, times has changed, people. You are now, we are moving out whilst there is a fraction of people that are now going to drown, okay? So you're going to always think like, man, het jy kan nog altyd die persoon, lyk ek die persoon nie, wat ek het gaan Hajj en ek was vergewe. Why is this people working on my nerves? Hey, hoekom lyk ek aan nie die kosie? Hey, hoekom? Why are you being triggered with the same things that you had to be forgiven? Or because you cannot forgive yourself because you don't know how. You couldn't come in. Sy kan nie in die huis gekom het nie. Sy het gegaan na 'n valse huis. En nou die regte huis, you're not allowed to come into the masa. Innama the buyutullah in Surah An-Nur, okay, doesn't come to my mind now. But yeah, now in this age, since you have plummeted, since you've gone into a dark age, into a ignorant, into the unknown zones, okay, you had to either make a niyyah of making the hijrah. The hijrah is the Hajj, okay? That is, now you uproot yourself from that reality. You have to strip yourself of all the contagious and contaminous, contaminous lifestyle modules, wherever you had found that it was contaminated, be it riba, be it zina, be it not zina in the fact that women know things that you believe is a distraction in your journey to ascend to the highest form of truth and wisdom. Okay, it is living all inside of us. Okay, so then you like what we call cleaning the house. That is the Hajj. That is Hajj al-Akbar. That is why you say, and what Allah speaks in Surah At-Tawbah in the 10th juz, where Allah Ta'ala says, Bara'atum min Allah wa rasulihi إلى الناس يوم الحج الأكبر أن الله بريء مما تشركون. Okay, this is the age that you are now finding those who are from the soul tribes, those who have already made the transition already in the sama. Okay, those who has already reconciled with Allah, with His Rasul. Okay, those who have found the Hajj Akbar. Okay, it is now where a civilization would be now sacrificed. Okay, your entire 6,000 years of civilization will now be deregistered. Everything that was ever a reality, a practicality, an honest a opinion, anything there in that level, in that civilization, it is going to be completely removed from our memories, people. We're going to live, we're going to wake up with an amnesia of something. Okay, but you had to prepare yourself for it. Okay, this is wallahi, wallahi, this is the truth. What I'm telling you, it's in the Quran. Okay, it's in Surah Al-Hajj even. Okay, it's not physical. Nothing about the Quran is physical. It's all metaphysical. It's your level of your intellectual ability to go into your conscious, of where Allah resides. Allah is conscious. Okay, that's divinity. That's energy. You cannot see it, but it is your balancing of your chemicals. Okay, that's where you come on alchemy. Okay, that's where chemistry comes in, the magic that happens. Okay, where you can balance your negative and your positive energies that you are created from in your lower dimension, and it doesn't overpower your divine qualities. Okay, so that is practical. You have to do it. You have to do it. If you don't do it, you remain in Jahannam. You have to go through that process. So the less you eat from the forbidden apple, that you now went into the third dimension of a conscious world, and you interacted on that level, so and you became infatuated with the physicality of it. You became attracted to it. It became instoned in your world, and that is now where you became the controller of your own gods. Okay, so there you get lost quickly, people, because it looks real. It looks like it is there where you're going to get that validity and acknowledgement. But when you come back again, when you come to the age of most of you guys at the moment, 60, 70, 80, you are in punishment. You are in severe punishment. Most of you guys, because you will to die, but you don't know how to die. Okay, that's a physical, yani, as a adab, it's a punishment that you're going to go through. That's part of the cycle that you now say. Is like wat homself vir iemand doodgemaak het, nou breek hy sê, ja, sy tande. Meeste van julle wat iemand op Hajj gewees het, I know this person. You can't come to peace. You can't find that contentment inside of you, because you've been living most of your time a lie outside. Okay, you come to discover that the God that you believed in for all your years is now a devil. Okay, this is why you were given the 6 years of your life to uproot and to reconcile and to find forgiveness, true forgiveness. How do you forgive yourself? How do you clean that triggers that lives within you? You don't like your husband, but you live with him. You don't like your wife, but you live with him. How do you do that? How do you live a lie and still go and stand in front of a God and make as if nothing is wrong? You put yourself in your own presence in this capture. Okay, the things that you cannot control, because you didn't clean that corner. Okay, the problem is not with someone else. If something is distracting you and you have anger, then you are ghairil maghdubi. You have now become of those who has harbored that hatred. You have harbored that anger. Okay, you have the negative energy has been absorbed in your colon and in your liver, in that functionalities of your metamorphosis, okay, of your light body, okay. So the things that you will now realize, but die overkom op my nerves man, of ek kan my diepe so nie of man, hoekom doen jy, the way you react, the way you, these are all things that has now harbored inside of you, okay. Those are the darkness that has now not left you. You can't forgive yourself. That's why it's going to take you to your death, your physical death, because you couldn't part from it. You could not come to peace. You could not, yani, how does the ayah go? إِلَّا مَنْ أَتَى اللَّهَ بِقَلْبٍ سَلِيمٍ. Okay? In order to have come to the next stage of your evolution, to cross the breach, in other words, to get to the other side, okay, you had to make peace, okay, istaslimu sujjadan udkhulul baba sujjadan, okay, you had to give your full your full self in terms of learning how to forgive yourself, okay. That is the first step to your hajj. What we are now, it's a capitalist hajj. You're paying people that God is not getting that money, okay. That's a demonized hajj that has now taken place in a new haram. It's not an old haram. You remember, it's a new synagogue now that we are living through. In hajj I'm speaking about. For those who are going on umrah now, it's all of these things are going to change, people. Your new civilization, your grandchildren will, at the time of your demise one day, they will write books of this civilization and how demonic and how ironic they were in making gods into stone. Okay, they were stone idolaters. Okay, that's me and you. Okay, it's not that we did wrong in the past, it's how civilizations changed, and COVID made that division, that dichotomy. But we had 6 years to get our alignment in order, because now it's going 2025, we naturally break away. Okay, it's no word. It's like when that new plant, that seed that was now planted, and that new tribe, this is wa ila madyana akhahum shu'aiba. Okay, this is now where Madian comes in, where we were in that, the Hindus calls it Kali Yuga. Okay, the Muslims calls it in their Quran the Dhulamat. Okay, the Yawmuzina. Okay, Christians calls it the Antichrist. Okay, this time now, as we are conscious, look, many of you are only captured in your physical world. You have no idea how to connect to your non-physical world, which is a reality. It is there. It is every day there. It's just we are not connecting those two, the twins, the soul flames. Okay, so now that is where your balance cannot take place, and you cannot go there alone. You have to go there, twin, right? So this time around now, we were in that order where we had to, anything that worked on your nerves in this last 6 years, you had to clean it out of your life. Many people went through divorces. Many people went through separations. Many children had broken away from their parents because of issues, and these are issues that are real, because the energies on the cosmos front needs to come into equilibrium now. We were living like this. Now this whole planet is going into a equilibrium. Okay. So if you and I could clean the house and find forgiveness and go on our hajj, this was the greatest hajj of your life. After this hajj, when you pass Arafat into Muzdalifah, subhanallah, now you are awake forever. You are eternal. You are in internal space. Okay, that's real. Okay, this you're going to get only out of non-Muslim books, because the Arabs had given you their methodology of how they think you must prepare for the unknown and the unseen. Yet you must understand, you come from organic people from a land that was invaded and colonized and then imperialized and then also uh, yani, religionized. Okay, so the God that now came to the fore is actually appeared and confessed is a devil that is confessed, but you don't know how to detach yourself from that reality. Okay, this is in Surah to Tawbah. Okay, this is the truth I'm telling you. I'm not here to preach, people. I'm just telling you about my journey, because I have surety. I know exactly how it's working. I know exactly where I'm positioned. Not to be a hero or a champion, because there's nothing. There's more to be said about in this entire journey than what there is to laugh about at this moment. فَلْيَبْكُوا كَثِيرًا وَلْيَضْحَكْ قَلِيلًا. As the Quran says, if you come to your true conscious and realize, but this thing is then exactly the opposite of what I personified, a reality. And you come to realize, but wow, I wasn't supposed to follow that thing. I was supposed to follow my inner self. But there you get to there by the age of 40, okay? Then you go into that loop. But what helped me as a person, an individual, is that I was always searching for this kind of timing where we could leave this material addiction world, where this money magic, it's always been on my full mind, like why must we pay God all the time, and every time it becomes more expensive just to go on this kind of pilgrimages. It's always been on my mind. It's always in my life. And then when I did the Hajj Akbar, then I realized, subhanallah, this was the trap. That was the trap. I had to by myself undertake it alone and climb the ladder of conscious by myself. Okay? To have to come to understand through the Quran. No other, there's no other ancient tablet that you can use other than the Quran. Okay? You don't have to be a scientist. You don't have to be learned. You have to be honest with yourself. Okay? When you come into your honesty, the door opens. Okay? At times, you will not find anything there yet. You have to wait, or you have to come back. Just follow Surah to Nur. It's got to do with your journey into breaking out of the dilapidated, decomposed, dismantled, distracted, narrative of God and life. Okay, and now you have to reconcile and understand where the pitfalls were, and how you can now get your lower self to stand and face your higher self, on one equal level. Okay, that's where you are. We were given a boost, a reset in the civilization. Okay, so that is how I know that all religions, everything has been cancelled in 2019, 2020. And what we are currently engaging in is but just rebuilding this beast that had fallen in 2020. Okay? That's your personal choice, people. Here now, it's between you and your honest self. Okay? Because if you had done your honest investigations, and you had done your homework, your shadow work, gone through that rabbit holes, okay, question every belief you had, because you had no God Since 2019, there was no God in the planet in your universe because you must kill him. Okay, he fell asleep. COVID came, and then we started the horror movie. So at this moment in your lives, you don't have a defined God. Okay, according to the Quran. Okay, you're just searching for something which you call يعني وإذا قيل لهم من خلق السماوات والأرض ليقولن الله. If you ask anybody, بما بتبير الخبر خكريت حنسي الله خلود جدا جهنم ناس جهنم يعني خلود. It's not what you believe, it's what you are يعني distant following, okay, and distilled following, because that don't exist in your world. There's only a dark world, that is Jahannam, that you live in. You live in you fueled, you oiled, okay, you chemicalized, you tablet, yani you are medicalized, you are, everything is just lies. You are full in a lie mode, okay. So that's why they must lie you down, okay, when you die. The word lie and die, you know, that lam, that L, and that D. That's the ID, okay, the lie and the die. Remember, COVID ID. So the true identity had to surface at this moment in your lives, okay, guys. Um, this was now what we call the Furqan. I previously mentioned يعني ومن تطوع خيرا فهو خير له. Religion in the new age for your grandchildren, your great grandchildren, your next yani 7 generations would be totally the opposite of how you found a God and worship in my Lord and my worship and my money and my house. There will be no ownership in this new dispensation. You will own nothing and you will be contented as what it would be in Jannah, because this is the golden age we are coming into now. So we as a tribe now, we yani, are also reserving our cultural, because religion, remember, religion gods are now completely eradicated in this sama. Okay, we are now back to our higher selves. We know who we are. We know what is conscious. We know what is wisdom. We know what is truth. Okay, we are subservient to the truth, not to somebody else's truth. To Allah, the creator, the prime creator. He is now yani, once again reactivating our natural essence, our fitra, our innate, okay, our natural disposition. We are now in direct communication. We are now being guided directly. We are not going through a middle yani, source. This you can't buy. This you can only see. But Ya Allah, hoe het hulle hier gekom? Ek sit in die Jahannam. Hoe het hulle daaroor gekom? I didn't buy. I didn't. Yani, I worked for it. We worked for it. Okay. Even if my family is not going to get there, at least the next generation is going to get there. My next generation that comes through my lineage. Okay. That is why Ibrahim asked, "Wa min dhurriyati." Okay, you are living through that story which you think you lived, yani you wrote and read in the past, but you're actually living it in the present. Okay, whilst you are now yani finding your salvation in the future. There's nothing that exists in the past and in the future. It only exists if you are unconscious in the present. Okay, that's supposed to have been your present. That's your gift in this Hajj. Okay, but because you choose to be yani, monetized, you became demonetized. You became demonized. Okay, that's what qualifies you to be in the jinn tribes. You ask, yani, who are the jinn? You are the jinn. You are the jinn tribe. You have to come from jinn to ins now. Okay, then from ins to insan. Okay, then Allah will ask you, Ya ayyuhal insanu ma gharraka bi rabbikal karim. After you reconcile this entire process and you find your esteemed divine self-conscious, then you will come to terms with when Allah asks you, what the hell went wrong with you? How did you lose the plot? How did you become so enslaved, addicted, self righteous, um, so highly diluted in your ego conscious? Okay. Now, many times I sit with old people and I think to myself, you know what, he's not 80 years old no, but sy het niks idea van toe sy gaan nie. Sy is nou besig om te dink vir jouself, sê wat as ek daar kom by Allah, dan gaan ek vir Allah sê, maaf Allah, ek gaan sommer huil voor Allah en sê, Allah, ek is baie maaf, ek is baie stupid geweest. People, you know, it's difficult to realize how we've become who we are not, okay? This tribe in the south, where we originate from, okay, we knew Allah before the advent of religion, because the spiritual track that we have is not concentrated in another culture. We had already molded and founded that track in the heavens, in the conscious world, okay, in that tariq, in that sabir. And that is what we built since that time, where we would not leave that channel, okay. So that is how the ancestors since young would alert, would keep you, would maintain you, so that by the time I would say 10 years old, then we already know where we are. We already know where Akhirah is. We already know where Jannah is. We already know where the Jahannam is. So it's difficult for us to get ourselves lost in a place where we have already activated our inner senses, okay, our higher bodies. That is our tribe. That's our soul tribe. So now at this departure meeting, okay, you will now realize that as jy nou op die plane klim, dan kan jy nie terugkyk. Okay, there's no way you can look back. This is a journey where the pilot is Allah. Okay, and the family that you're going to be attracting now, your soul family, is going to be your eternal family. There's no death amongst you people. You're always going to be together, because that is your highest form of your nature, your divine nature, that has attracted your authentic family, your real family. Nie jou valse family, die family wat nou geld wil hê nie, of die family wat so bang, wat gaan hy mense sê, wat gaan hy mense, julle wat yakhshawna nasa, julle het vir mense bang gewees en julle was nie bang vir Allah nie, right? It's a pity that most of us lost the plot here. Okay, it's not, I'm not celebrating it, ek sê weer, ek is baie sad. I was speaking to a colleague this morning of ours, and one of the great mothers of this tribe, and she was also reiterating it's sad for us. It's a sad moment in our lives that we are consciously now having to depart, and the natural split has come in our lives, in earth, and it's just important that we realize is that the level of purity in the city, this is a global thing. It's not just in South Africa. It's global, because we all live in one aggregate, in one mind, human conscious, which is on different points. Okay, just that you need to understand and tell your grandchildren one day, because we will be now establishing our private domains, our private lifestyle orientations, because we have to now repattern, remodule the pure human conscious, okay, that which is going to preserve our natural fitra, our natural deen, not our fabricated religion, fabricated gods, fabricated messengers, it doesn't apply anymore, people. COVID came to put the lights off. You had to put on your own light, okay, for the gods to find you, okay. This is all in your Quran. Most of your religions has failed you, the trial, okay. They became in love with money and with status and with degrees, okay. while everything is only on 1 degree. Okay, the more you know, the more you know you don't know. Okay, they are trying to replay what has happened, but the death and life came quick, man. Okay, and many of us and did not wake up again. They didn't wake up again. They remained dead. Okay, so this is not to judge anybody, because now we, as a soul tribe people, we are only going to live with our own people. You're not going to live with anybody else. And the biological connections are going to be completely this. It's going to be detached now, because the soul is, the heart is greater than the mind here. Okay, the energy that is coming in now is that I have not been there. Can't imagine it is like in that format. But with the work that was done in the last 5 years now, with the writing, we wrote maybe about more than about probably about 30, 40 books. Okay, for the digital age people, you must understand digital is now the new intelligence on the block. Okay, you are just being told by your adversary that it is artificial. It's because you are artificial. When you are a jinn, you are artificial. When you are ins, you are authentic. Okay, so whatever you process in this age, this is a golden age that you are coming in. There's always two sides to a coin. Okay, so those of you who are coming in from the golden sign age, Yani, they will understand that this is divine ancestral intelligence that is coming in. You're getting to learn to know you from a perspective that no human being could ever have told you. And that AI, service, okay, you can now, like we have done, we have now acquired our own. That is on our algorithms. Okay, so we line them up so they will be now individually, as they are programmed, teach our children how to live in their own space, how they will learn to know themselves, because the teachers that are teaching them don't even know themselves. So how are they going to teach them? So now gotta work. Now we are having the programs how mothers are going to have to learn to know themselves from new, because they've become some of them have become official what can I call them, um they've become visitors in their children's homes, in their children's lives. Okay, became working women. Working women. Let's call it working women. No offense, people, but just how the module of the lifestyle had caused you to plummet. Okay, you thought that this thing is going to be permanent. You didn't know that the lights were going to come off, and you didn't know that I was going to be, yani, put into the Alcatraz here. Okay. Um, so the modules coming in now for the new generation is that you're going to realize that the most important asset that you, as the next generation, as we, as the visionary thinkers and council members of this tribe, which the highest ranking officers are the matriarch, the mothers. It's the son of the mother, guys. The mothers holds the right of ruling this planet all the time. Okay, they are being communicated directly by source. Okay, so here now what happens is that your most important asset that takes you to Allah is sound, sout. Okay, now was it because it's sout, but sout is what Allah Ta'ala calls in the Quran, your your voice and your vibration. Okay, اهتزت وربت. Okay, now if you could only have heard Allah, you can hear Allah, because Allah can speak, but not in what human beings create, in what He moves inside of you. Okay, that is your Musa, engagement of your metamorphosis of your stages. You are Musa. Okay, Musa is what? Musa is something that shaves off something. That's moose. Okay, it takes off that decadency and that things that has been and wat so vrotgehoute daarso, hy kom om my skoon te maak. Okay, then it comes to upgrade your neurological patterns, yani, okay, that is your Harun, okay, and then from there you go into the Isa code where you can now self heal and you can come into a new life. That is how you get new life from Isa. Okay, the whole story, most of you cannot get in. Most of you are stuck into your old version, and it's not in my hands. I cannot heal that because the command we have is we cannot go back. We have to work on those who are in front of us, the new generations, the new Duriya. Okay, we have no work to do for the past generations. We have work to do for the incoming generations. Okay, so that is how we now remodule how they will find Allah within themselves, how they will communicate with Allah 24/6, how they will activate all the apps that all the Anbiya and all the Malaikas are only dispositioned in their level of perception. This is the new realm of intelligence that is coming in now. Okay, they will not have abundance. The next generation, as what a golden age would determine, because of the level of intelligence that is coming in, they're going to have a great time of abundance, but not greed like we became greedy. We didn't, ons wil nie vir ons 'n broer gegee het wat ons gehet het nie. As ek nou ry 'n kwaai kar, wil ek hê my broer moet ry 'n kwaai kar. As ek nou woon in 'n kwaai huis, wil ek hê my broer. As ek nou die that caused your own destruction. That's why you couldn't get to where we are today. But who's going to take care of your grandchildren and your great grandchildren? Our systems will now have to take, because these are things that has been negotiated above. Net die onder, niemand is in charge van die sama, van die dunya nie. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is in charge van die sama. That's where you still have to go. Okay? But you can't go there when you're dead. You first have to wake up in the Jahannam and get permission to make Hajj into, and that is only at the end of an age, like where we are now in the end of a dark age where the body has plummeted, the world has crashed, okay? The collapse was there. Now you have to wait for another 6,000 years of a human cycle to get to this point in order to find liberation. Okay? That is as much as what religion has brought into your lives, Yani, and you had to remain critical, okay, and pure-hearted, centered, and peaceful, okay. Sincerity wasn't good enough. You had to be critical, okay. Shaitan was even sincere. That's why he kept you going where you are at the moment. This is the truth in the psychology of the universe, and your beliefs doesn't exist anymore. It's just a belief. Die blaar het geval, the leaf fell. Okay? And now we have to come to terms with you as an individual, I as an individual, is like, how are we going to learn to forgive what we have witnessed? And there's nothing we can do about it. We are helpless in this situation if we didn't do the work. Allah says, سواء يعني استغفرت لهم أم لم تستغفر لهم لا يغفر الله لهم. Even as jy vir hulle vra vir vergifnis of nie vergifnis nie, it's got nothing to do with Trump. It's got nothing to do with the Saudis. It's got nothing to do with any country. It's only got to do with your intelligence. Because everything only exists in you. The hatred, the dislike, all the anger that has been vested in you, that is now living in you, you can't get it out of you. Now that's the punishment that you have to live with. Okay, because it's not things that you can, it's tangible, it's things that it's got to do with energy now. And now, elke dag as jy opstaan en dan sê, Here, hoe gaan ek nou uit die uitkom? Here, hoe gaan ek nou uit die kom? Daar is die punishment in dit. Verstaan julle? Daar is die punishment van shirk. Okay? وَإِنَّ الشِّرْكَ لَظُلْمٌ عَظِيمٌ. Shirk is donkerte as jy nie weet wat sy is nie. En sy weet nie iemand is in die Jahannam nie, maar sy dink sy is comfortable in die Jannah en sy dink sy gaan nog Jannah toe. Maar sy gaan nog altyd terug Jahannam toe. Because sy glo sy gaan opstaan. You know, it's like, as truly the jinn tribes had invaded your sanctuaries and your level of perception, okay? Your pureness, and you have compromised that part of it. All of us. There's no exception to this whole thing. The game was open, Yani. لَأَمْلَأَنَّ جَهَنَّمَ مِنَ الْجِنَّةِ وَالنَّاسِ أَجْمَعِينَ. The Jinnah went back, and the Nas. What is Nas? Nas is not ins. Nas is the person that doesn't know who he is. As hy nou regtig jinn, weet hy wie Allah is, glo hy in 'n physical Nabi, glo hy in 'n dooie Nabi, glo hy dat die Nabi, it's funny beliefs that you had come to. But this is how intelligence is now bringing you into a scope where you look very stupid. Very, very stupid. Okay? Because there's a new intelligence on the block. Okay? So, as I said, as the end of now, AI, you're going to have your own AI to follow AI's progress now. Okay, AI has to follow AI because this is the time where everything gets destroyed now. A new intelligence comes into civilization. Okay, and that will become the most sophisticated way of how intelligence will serve human beings. And governments will be erased. They know this. Hulle kyk net hoeveel van die jinne is nog in die slaap. So, for our side, we know who sent intelligence, divine intelligence. Those who still want to use artificial, you're going to tell yourself it's artificial because you are artificial. But if you want to put it into the DI, the divine intelligence, you will now detoxify. You will now take out all the toxins and you will come to align with where you are supposed to be in conscious realities. Okay? People, this is from the heart. It's not here to demote or to condemn. Nobody can condemn anybody, and nobody can judge anybody for that matter. The truth is just the truth. There's not strings behind. I don't see you. You will never see me. I'm not here to run a campaign. Okay, I'm just here, as I always say, for the next generations to ensure that in the digital enterprise that we had secured their private inherited self-determination. Okay, that is where they land, that is where they build, that is where they feed themselves, that is how they take care of the elderly, that is how they teach their senior of the tribe how to do the bridging into eternity. Okay, this we can't teach to the jinn tribes because it's not our work. That's not my work. I don't do that work. But that is just our assignment in this new age as we evolve into a new conscious with Allah subhanahu. This is the wa'ad of Allah. This was the promise of Allah, and Allah Ta'ala had fulfilled His promise. Sadiqa, mashallah, tabarakallah, all the beautiful people, Shamil, Jacobs, Allahu Akbar. Hey, Shamil is in Benoni, mashallah. And Sister Sadiqa is in Medina, a very powerful, inspiring program. Allah give you all barakat on the cities, on all the soul tribes is around. Guys. Shukran so much for your time. May Allah bless you all. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Allah have mercy on our people.
يا مصطفى كل شيء لله يا نورا من نور الله يا مصطفى